Do you believe that there is life out there in like another universe?
Yes, with a question mark?
Demi Lovato definitely does, and I talked to Demi all about their alien encounter.
Living my life so I go to heaven and never come back.
I had a weird experience and I don't really know what to call it. I felt like I was visited by some beings in my room. And then, I traveled. It was this bright light. It kind of moved in like these weird ways.
Demi claims they were taken by alien beings while on a trip to Joshua Tree. The 29-year-old singer says they went willingly and communicated telepathically with the beings they call their light doctors.
I feel like we're all our own worst enemy, or at least I am. And so I definitely could see how, if anything is up there watching over me, they're definitely trying to protect me from my worst enemy, which is myself.
Can you at least say hello to Demi?
The shocking revelation is made in Demi's 4-part docuseries, Unidentified with Demi Lovato, streaming on Peacock. The series includes Demi's sister Dallas and best friend Matthew Montgomery. Together they investigate abduction stories and talk to UFO experts. Demi even undergoes hypnosis to recall their own experience. Where do you fall on the belief, skepticism, the whole thing?
I have a very open mind, you know, but this was unlike anything that I've ever experienced.
Yeah. Before we shot the show, I was a skeptic, and now since we've shot it, I haven't stopped talking about it.
What if they're already here waiting for us to reach out?
You're not gonna take this away from me.
Jamie Foxx reprising his villainous role as Electro in Spider-Man No Way Home. Love it.
You know, home really is where the heart is for Jamie, because he talks all about being a dad and dad life in his book, Act Like You Got Some Sense, which is all about the trials and tribulations of raising 2 daughters in the Hollywood limelight.
There was a real struggle in your life between the party Jamie Foxx, then the family Jamie Foxx.
I remember taking Corinne to a party when she was 13. She's like, Dad, I'm not supposed to be here. So what I did learn to do was invite them. Let them see what their dad was doing. Because my daughter benefited from her uncle being Leonardo DiCaprio. And then my youngest daughter, Rihanna, pinching her cheeks. And what it did was it allowed them to see the artist. It sort of worked out.
It's been bring your daughter to work and sometimes to the party for Jamie's girls, 27-year-old Corinne and 13-year-old Annalise. But the Oscar winner told me that along with the joys, he's been through an awful lot of pain as a single dad.
I was the Disney dad and didn't know it. I was out running, trying to make sure everything was great, but I was missing time. And so when I would show up, let's just go to Disneyland. Let Mickey Mouse fix anything. The emotional potholes will just fill it with Mickey Mouse. And at one point, we end up in front of a therapist. And my daughter told me, hey, I really like you. She said, hear me out. The Disneyland and all those things was great, but I just really wanted to kick it with you.
Jamie gets real in his book, Act Like You Got Some Sense. That is what his late grandmother Estelle always used to tell him. She was fiercely protective and would pull a gun on anyone who dared mess with Jamie.
Tyler Perry, everybody see Madea. My grandmother was first Madea. You better back the hell up out my face. I'm crying outside. My grandma said, what's wrong with you? And it's that cry. So down there, who did what? She said, come on, we're gonna walk down to the house where this just went down. She reached in the moo. She pulled out a 38, knocked on the door. I said, oh my God. The people that answered the door, she stuck the gun there and said, listen, this boy's special, okay? He going places. I don't wanna have to come back in here with this 38 and have to fire it. It just made me feel like, man, she's willing to walk through any door to make sure I have what I need to flourish, so I can't mess it up.
That is a man who is a great father.
And the most authentic person you'll ever meet.
Ever.
He's so funny. All right. Vanessa Lachey is another parent sharing life lessons and new traditions in her new book, Life from Scratch. Now, Vanessa talked to me all about loss and finding love with soulmate Nick Lachey in another ET exclusive.
I do cherish you.
I'm still in love with him, but I'm different. I'm a different in love than I was 15 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm probably gonna be a different in love 15 years from now. Seeing him now as a father to our 3 kids, but then when I'm gonna see him as a father to our teenagers, and then see him as a father or as a grandfather.
Come on.
Driving the RV, going across country.
Come on, Nick Lachey in the RV.
That's sexy.
Yeah, we can totally see Grandpa Nick rocking an RV, but for now, he's content living that island life after Vanessa landed the lead role on NCIS Hawaii.
I just asked him to pick up and move to Hawaii. Well, to move to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to twist his arm too much, but if I'm being completely real, that's a lot. That's a big ask, and it's been a lot for our family to transition. He's left everything willingly and supportively, everything to come support me now.
And that's not all. Vanessa credits Nick with helping her heal from a painful childhood. Her mom left when she was just 9 years old.
I look at these kids, and Camden is the age when my mom left, and I'm like, there is not a bone, an ounce in my body that could ever just walk away from you. So I don't understand it.
Have you made your peace with your mom?
Yes and no. I've made the peace that I need to make to be able to speak about it, but I would be lying if I said it doesn't still bother me. What happened? Because she was such the best mom until she left. But ultimately, I said, instead of saying, woe is me, and I didn't have a great mother example in my life, what can I do to be that for my kids?
Right.
How can I break that cycle?
Part of breaking the cycle is forming new traditions that will strengthen the bond with Nick and her kids. One of the stories you told was about the Cartier Love bracelet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking I wanted it to have it forever as a symbol of us, and when we had our daughter. And when he put it on me, he said, I have to screw this on you with this tool, and so it stays on forever until you unscrew it. And I said, wow, that's beautiful. And then he took it a step further and said, when our daughter is 18, we screw it on her wrist together so she can have a piece of us
Don't
forever.
you make me cry.
And I was 9 months pregnant, and I was like, this is...
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's see, now you're gonna make me
I know,
cry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's very, very sweet.
Too early. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Before we go, one more star confession that many parents have an opinion on. The great bathing debate of 2021.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis started it all when they said they only wash their kids when they can see dirt on them.
Now listen, Hollywood had a field day with this one. And Lauren Zima got Mila's hot or cold take for everybody. Bye, guys.
Y'all better get some washcloths
Oh,
out.
Lord, just
Come on. Yeah.
scrub.
I'm sure you're sick of talking about the bath debate.
I mean, I'm now literally gonna be like, no comment.
If you can see the dirt on them, clean them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point.
If you want to go a couple days without it, great. If
Right.
you have bad hygiene, that's not on me. And if I have bad hygiene, I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you, it's not your business.
Were you surprised by the reaction, how many people weighed in? Like Cardi B weighed in, The Rock weighed in.
I don't think I'm aware of how many people weighed in when this storm hit. Bleep it out if you must. But it's great. Listen, if it gets people's mind off of reality, who cares?